This is a network analysis of a European institution by Nora Yamanita. Internal communication is something that's very important in any workplace. It helps build a good workplace culture, it builds teamwork, it increases employees' happiness, and more. Within this European institution, we're aiming to answer the question of exactly who's communicating with you. Are people communicating within their own departments, managers, employees at the same level? By utilizing Networkx, we're able to identify these trends and the structures and the communications in this network. In some background about email, the first computer-to-computer messaging system was utilized by the Department of Defense in 1969 using ARPANET. Ray Tomlinson, using ARPANET, created the first user name of computer to help identify who the emails are being sent to. That format is something that we use today. It's very familiar. Although email was around before then, in 1991, Microsoft's Hotmail was really the first public server that people could use. Email is a great choice for businesses because it's low cost, it's speedy, it helps illuminate face-to-face communication problems, the need for any individual handouts, and its allowance for attachments and documents to be spread quickly and easily across any sort of organization is excellent. The dataset was collected over 18 months from the period of October 2003 to May 2005 at a European research institution. Over 3 million emails were sent within that time period. This focuses only on the internal communication within this. So it only focuses on 1,005 email addresses instead of the 200,000 plus email addresses. An edge is created if one email is sent from one user to another user and that user then responds. I chose this dataset because I always think it's very interesting to see the way people communicate. It also shows a lot about a company of who can talk to who, when they can talk to them, and everything like that. So it does help give a little bit of insight within the structure and the culture that they have. If you have a company that has a lot of isolated nodes, or even a few isolated nodes, you probably have a company that has some sort of hierarchical, tall organizational structure. Flatter organizations, you'll see bosses communicating with just like regular any employee that they have and everything like that. For the research methods, tools, and techniques, I first used an online converter in order to convert the text.gz files to regular text files. I removed all the isolated nodes within the graph once I imported it into Networkx, and that's how I got my original graph. From there, I was able to develop communities, so I focused on community 0 and communities 1. Off of those communities, I took the first node and then matched them to the department using the department labels text. Those departments, respectively, were Department 21 and 1. Using the filter and subtotal in Excel, I was able to count how many of the nodes in the department matched with the nodes in the community based off of the duplicates. Graph A shows the entire network excluding all the isolated nodes. Graph B shows the community showing in various colors. Graph C depicts the shortest path between nodes 160 and 645. 160 is actually the max between a centrality node. It's hard to see, but it is depicted in red. Graph D depicts the nodes or members of a Department 21 created by the subgraph. This is based off of communities 0. Graph E depicts the nodes in Department 1 created in a subgraph. This is based off of communities 1. This is the output of the code for the shortest path between 160 and 4 random nodes. 160 and 645 is the graph that was pictured. The rest of them are random nodes that I have chosen. This is the output for the nodes of community 0 and communities 1. So the results of everything is that it is an undirected graph because the communication goes 2 ways from email to email. Node 160 is likely of importance because it is in the center of the graph, which I believe is a very important thing. Although it was only 4 that we examined of other target nodes, they have very few edges that connect between them. Now it is the shortest path, but that says to me that there is that this person is obviously very easy to get in contact with, or someone could get in contact with them fairly easily. Most of the nodes did reside on that outer edge as well, as shown in graph B, D, and E particularly. And upon the analysis of the duplicate nodes, it was found that over 75% of the nodes in the department were also shared with their respective communities. So those isolated nodes are likely high-ranking members of the institution, so they're probably high-level managers. The nodes located more in the center of the graph are probably lower and middle-level managers, while the nodes on the outside are probably just regular employees or maybe even low-level managers as well. Because of this, they probably have a tall organizational structure. So those low-level managers may have 5, 6 subordinates. The middle may have probably like 3, and the high may have 1. So you sort of get this pyramid shape, which comes with the tall organizational structure. Node 60 again it's an important node. It is probably one of the middle-level managers, or low-middle-level managers. It is located in the center of the graph, and it does have the highest between its centrality. The paths between the random nodes are also very short. The departments also likely work close together within one another. Like stated before, over 75% of both of the departments were found in the communities as well. Now, these communities consist of hundreds of nodes. The departments consist of less than 100 each. So what that says is probably it seems like a lot of people are communicating within the departments with each other, as well as working closely with other departments. And those are the references.